Welcome to another week of Turnpike Sports. I am Dave Weishuttle, and as always, I am joined by producer and co-host Doug Weishuttle. Doug, we have a new professional football team now.
Yeah, I'm all stoked after hearing that blistering press conference the XFL put on yesterday.
It was it's interesting. For those of you who don't know or didn't listen to it, like a lot of people didn't listen to it, the XFL announced what cities they're going to have teams in. I guess there's going to be 8 teams to start with.
Yeah, there's, what was it, New York, Washington,
L.A., Seattle.
Well, Seattle's getting busy all of a sudden. Jeez.
Yeah, I know. Congratulations to Seattle because they're having an NHL expansion.
And we'll be talking about that later. So that was supposed to be a teaser, and you screwed that one up completely.
Okay. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I got to prepare. We got to have better production meetings. So, no, but I'm excited. I remember the XFL when I was a kid. I mean, what was it? Is that the He Hate Me thing?
That was the original one.
But yes, the original one. I still have a baseball hat for the New York, New Jersey Hitmen.
Well, the nice thing about the new XFL, it's not part of the WWE, which is what was going on that last time. And, there's not going to be too much crossover because Vince McMahon is doing this as a separate venture, and it's really nice to see. Although I was a little surprised I didn't see some of the other states that had the sports betting already in it as cities.
Mm-hmm. Well, for those of you who don't know, I went to the XFL.com, and they have a list of the 8 inaugural cities that the teams are going to be in. It's Dallas, Houston, Los Angeles, New York, St. Louis, Seattle, Tampa Bay, and Washington, D.C.
And it's going to be interesting to see how they do this. They even made mention of it in the press conference that they don't have a CBA, so they're going to be able to draft or pick high school players.
And when does this start? This is 2020, right?
2020. February 2020.
I thought it was interesting, the press conference to announce the teams, that they did give a nod to the sports betting.
But they were non-committal. They were
non-committal, but look, it's a reality that every professional sports league has to deal with. And I guess they're dealing with it head on. I guess they're going to make probably some announcements pretty soon. I guess they're going to do the kind of thing the NFL is doing in partnerships. I'm curious to see how that works out.
It'll be interesting to see how everything works. I mean, the press conference yesterday was nice how they had the different stadium owners or team owners or whatever, or whatever property owners coming on and talking about the great partnership they're going to have. But they haven't even put together their presidents yet.
Sure.
They're going to be doing those in the first quarter of 2019. They haven't even chose what the uniforms are really going to look like.
They chose the cities, but they didn't choose the names of the teams. So I guess that's up in the. I'm sure there's going to be contests in these cities, best name and things like that.
They said they were going to be doing social media stuff, and also I got to go to OddsShark or Bravado or whatever some of these other ones are to see if there are odds for what the team names are going to be.
Sure.
So
like I said, it's a busy week, so let's take a trip down the Turnpike. And I just want to remind everyone that today's trip down the Turnpike is brought to you by Drizzly, your online liquor store. Available in over 95 cities across North America, Drizzly offers a huge selection and competitive pricing with a side of personalized content. Now there's no need to leave the house. Get alcohol delivered in less than an hour by Drizzly. Head on over to drizzly.com and order today. And now get $15 off your first order of $30 or more when using promo code DRINK15 at checkout. That's DRINK15 at checkout. Shop beer, wine, and liquor with drizzly.com.
One of the greatest inventions known to man.
Can I just say one thing? I know I'm breaking the fourth wall. I love the way my new earphones sound.
Oh, no, these are some new equipment. Yeah, these are actually
these
really beautiful pieces of equipment.
I know. It's amazing.
Thank you, Behringer.
Yes.
Exit 1.
We're going to hit the Turnpike starting off, as we usually do, with our sports betting update. Hard Rock Hotel Casino Atlantic City has finally announced they will be having a sports book, just in time for March Madness 2019.
That's going to be great. I mean, first off, the Hard Rock is a beautiful property in Atlantic City. It's right on the boardwalk, and they know how to do a casino right, and I think this sports book is going to be great.
And they've partnered with Gaming Innovation Group, who they've already had a partnership with since back in July. Mm-hmm. They, however you want to say, Gaming Innovation Group, had been running their online casino. since July. So this is a good partnership here. It's not only with the Atlantic City Hard Rock, it's with Hard Rock International. Mm-hmm. So there's going to be some possible expansion here with these partners.
I love the fact that Hard Rock said there's going to be an online element to it. And, of course, there's going to be the walk up to the windows and you can place your bet live. And I like the fact that they're going to have self-service kiosks. I guess that's what they're called.
They're called, yeah.
I guess they're going to be all over the property where you'll never be too far away from placing a bet.
Exactly. And this all came about because of what's been happening with the NFL's betting policy, the gambling policy, the advertising. When the Dallas Cowboys made their deal and I believe it was Baltimore Ravens. The relaxation of this policy allowed Hard Rock to do a sports book because they had that issue with the Miami Dolphins Stadium.
Sure, I remember we were actually at the opening of the Hard Rock Casino, and the president fielded a question about sports betting, and he said, well, there was some issue with regard, they had the naming rights to the Miami Stadium, and I guess they had to work that out with the NFL, whether to have a sports betting element of their casino, but I guess it's all worked out.
As soon as the NFL changed their policy, they were all on board with it, and they're able to get this sportsbook launched. So, congratulations to them.
Can't wait to check it out.
It just leaves Caesars on the boardwalk as the only property that doesn't have a sportsbook in Atlantic City right now.
And they're probably not even going to have one.
They got two other properties that have them. I don't know if they're worried about it. They got the Play MGM stuff, online sportsbooks and all that. So I don't think they necessarily need one in Caesars. Let's go up the Turnpike a little bit in Jersey. See how I work the Turnpike thing?
There you go.
FanDuel has been paying out the Alabama bet, the Alabama College Football Championship bets that everyone has already made. If you bet on Alabama, you've already got paid out.
This is interesting. I mean, I guess they had a cutoff date if you bet on Alabama before this certain date. I mean, I'm sure you can't bet on Alabama now and they'll pay you out.
No.
I mean. But that's very, very interesting that Alabama is that much of a favorite. I mean, I saw one of these betting shows. It was Alabama versus the entire field, and people were picking Alabama.
Well, that's nothing new. I mean, every sport has one of those overpowering teams, and college football seems to be Alabama's playground right now. And FanDuel said they're probably going to lose about $400,000 in paying out these bets so early. Plus, also, they're going to be paying out, if Alabama doesn't win, they're going to pay out those bets as well.
Okay.
So, I mean, this is a great PR move.
I guess it is, yeah. I mean, everyone's talking about it, but, it's kind of a risky kind of venture.
Well, they're there to try and keep pace with DraftKings. Sure. And it looks like DraftKings and FanDuel are the ones leading the pack in the mobile betting, at least. And, I think DraftKings is starting to outpace everybody. And FanDuel's doing everything they can to get the PR on their side. I
got to tell you, mobile betting is where it's at. I mean, I live in New Jersey, but I live in central New Jersey. So, I have to drive to the northern Jersey sportsbooks or the southern Atlantic City sportsbooks. There's nothing like placing a bet from your very own couch.
Couch potatoes.
Yeah, I know. I love it.
All right, moving further up the Turnpike. We're going to New England. Twin River has launched not only one sports book, and we talked about that last week.
Absolutely.
They've launched their second sports book in their Tiverton, Rhode Island property.
Yeah, and for those of you who don't know, Tiverton is just right over the border from Massachusetts.
It's right there. It's about, Boston is about 40 minutes away?
Let me put it this way. Foxborough, Massachusetts, where the Patriots play, is closer to Tiverton than it is to Boston.
Yeah. And,
so that's what we're talking about.
It'll be interesting to see if this affects Plainridge, which is near Foxborough.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's only about 15 minutes away.
Yeah, yeah. So it's not a huge travel for Boston fans or even Patriot fans. If you don't want to go to Foxborough, want to get out of Foxborough when there's a game there, and still want to do some sports betting, you got it right over the border. I mean, this is perfectly placed for it, and we'll see exactly how Massachusetts counters it. I know Connecticut has already announced that they're going to be looking at doing sports betting for 2019.
This has to put pressure on Connecticut. It has to put pressure on Massachusetts. I mean, it's not like Pennsylvania. It's not like New Jersey. It's not like Vegas. They don't have casinos 2 minutes away from each other. These are spread out. These are day trip casino places where you go to a casino.
Some of them are overnight.
Yeah, I mean,
you got to look at it that way too.
I mean, you're not casino hopping. Other places. I mean, you have to commit to go to one of these casinos. So it's it's a competition for people getting their butts in the door.
I just wonder if they're waiting to see how this 51% tax rate works for Rhode Island. That's still astounding to me. But they'll catch up at some point.
Well, look, everyone's going to make money.
Yeah. Moving down the Turnpike, we're going to go down to D.C. And everyone's been talking about this latest permutation in the D.C. sports betting bill.
It's stupid.
The one thing I want to focus on, I thought was really interesting. One aspect of this, besides creating a monopoly in the D.C. lottery for being the only one that can offer sports betting in the region in D.C., they're also talking about the sports betting being in some of the sporting venues. Nationals Park, Audi Stadium, Capital One Arena, wherever the sports teams play. They just excluded RFK from the list of potential places, but they're looking at doing sports betting lounges in these venues that will run 24 hours, and they don't have to be DC Lottery. Mm-hmm. They can be any of the other operators, and as long as you're in that lounge, you can use the other operators. But as soon as you leave that venue, this is proposing you have to use DC Lottery outside them.
I don't mind that and all the lounges and the lottery, but the one thing I thought was stupid, and that's why I said stupid, is they're bringing up this integrity fee crap again.
They're calling it a royalty.
I don't care what you call it. You know what? NHL, NFL, MiLB, they're all making deals with casinos, MGM, and probably they're going to do other casinos too. So they're going to make money there. Why do they want an integrity fee or a royalty fee on top of that? It's absolutely ridiculous.
Because there's a lobby behind every senator, representative,
I hate the fact
whatever
that
you
they
want.
put this. I know it's a draft bill or it's going out of
committee. It's made it through its first committee
but
meeting.
They're bringing this integrity fee crap up again, and it's so stupid.
We'll see what happens with it. I mean, the next vote is December 18th, so it'll see if it actually makes.
The leagues want to get
impact.
paid twice. Hey, if they can do it, fine with them. Go to town. If the legislators are going to be stupid about it, whatever.
Well, it'll be interesting to see what I believe it was Missouri. There's a Missouri representative who put in a royalty fee for their sports betting bill, but he's not giving it to the leagues. He's giving it to an entertainment commission to help refund everything. So it'll be interesting to see how that flies.
Well, all right.
Yeah. And last but not least, two little issues. Mississippi handle came in for November, $44.5 million. That's up 33% from October.
Great.
And they said there was heavy betting on college football and Saints football.
I think they're going to do well in the like everyone else, but I think Mississippi is really NCAA football country, and I think they're going to do great with the college playoffs, and I think they're going to do great on March Madness. That should be fun.
I think all the sports books should do well on March Madness. And last but not least, little old Deadwood, South Dakota. They have put in some a bid for having a referendum on their next ballot for sports betting.
Well, I hope they get it done.
And they want sports betting not for the actual revenue from sports betting. They want it from the tourism dollars that will be generated as people go to the Deadwood casinos again.
Exit 2.
We have another first in the esports arena.
Okay. Well, every week it's esports. More and more esports, which is great. I love it.
This is the first major retail partnership for an esports league.
Wow.
Fanatics.
I love Fanatics. I have a Phillies jacket from Fanatics. I love it.
Well, they just did a deal with the Overwatch League to do their stores. Not only for the entire league, but for the individual teams as well. They're going to be doing jerseys, T-shirts, hats. They're also going to be having a memorabilia arm now. Just like the pro leagues, they're going to have collectibles, autographed products, game-used items for the fans of the teams of the league.
What are game-used products for esports? I mean, hats, shirts.
They have uniforms.
Do they have the controller, too, you can buy?
That may be an autographed product.
That might be a premium product.
That could be anything like that. But this was Activision's plan when they first started the league. They set it up just like the pro sports leagues. The kids are on salaries. They have divisions. They have all these different things. And it's a revenue-sharing team sport now. Different teams are getting the revenue sharing. They got broadcast contracts.
That's great.
I mean,
let me tell you something. Most of these casinos would do great if they jumped into the esports kind of field. Well, I mean, it'd be awesome.
This is the most popular of all the esports, Overwatch.
Overwatch.
It's a
I don't even know what that is.
It's a 6-on-6 shoot 'em up game.
Okay.
Basically, teams go around shooting each other. That's
Okay.
It's a shooter video game, first person. So now that's the first one of its kind, and they're expecting many, many more. I mean, you have places like people like the Patriots investing in this. Other major people doing. You have the Rams, Patriots, the Mets. Then they're going to be expanding from 12 franchises to 20.
Well, the Sixers, I know that.
That's NBA 2K.
That's
don't
NBA 2K.
don't confuse.
I'm mashing them all up.
Yes, you're mashing them all up. You're going to get some esports fans really annoyed at you.
Exit 3.
And as I tried to tease at the beginning of the show,
Yeah, and I blew it.
the NHL has now expanded again so that we now have 32 teams in the National Hockey League.
Yeah, congratulations.
Seattle.
Yeah.
Seattle will have a team for the 2021-2022 season. There was a unanimous approval by the Board of Governors. The group that is bringing the team to Seattle will be paying $650 million on the expansion fee.
I like the fact that now they're betting on team names now. What will be the team name?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I went to OddsShark and let's see. I'm just going to run right through them. Here we go. The favorite for the team name is the Totems.
Really?
At a money line of -105. They have other ones, the Emeralds.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. The Rainiers. I don't even know what a Rainier is.
Okay.
Sockeyes. This one's kind of cool. Kraken.
I like that. I can see the logo right now.
I can see the alcohol sponsoring the team. And rounding out all the names is at plus 2,800, the Evergreens, Whales, Cougars, Eagles, and Firebirds. And what's going to happen is Seattle's going to, when they come into existence, Seattle's going to play in the Pacific Division of the Western.
I guess they're going to shift some teams.
They're going to
around?
do an alignment. The only team moving is the Arizona Cardinals. They're moving to the Central Division of the Western Conference.
Who is that again?
Arizona Coyotes.
Okay. They're going to move to Central.
Yeah, no longer the Phoenix Coyotes, because I remember they started out as Phoenix. But, yeah, they're going to be and Seattle's going to be playing in the Seattle Center Arena, which is undergoing renovations right now. And they haven't set a time for the expansion draft. And so we'll see exactly what happens there. But, Seattle's got a new hockey team.
I think that's a great sports league. I loved the Seattle Supersonics.
Well, now they're going to have...
I think I hope the NBA follows suit and brings a basketball team back to Seattle.
Yeah, Seattle is going to have a hockey team for the first time in quite a while, I think. I don't think they've ever had one, have they?
I think they might have had minor league hockey.
Maybe. But I know Quebec City's all pissed off right now because they were expecting to get an expansion team. And the NHL has come out and said that they have no interest in expanding after this team right now.
Interesting.
Exit 4.
And last but not least, what goes better at a baseball game than a hot dog? And before you answer, it's not beer.
Okay.
How about a 100% natural, all-natural hot dog? Minor League Baseball has made a deal with Applegate Farms to sell what they're calling the cleaner wiener.
Okay.
At stadiums all across minor league baseball.
So this is all minor. I mean, single A, double A, triple A. This is all minor league. This is Applegate Farms will sell their hot dogs.
This will be sold in every stadium. You're going to see signage in almost all of the 160 stadiums for MiLB teams. MiLB. That's a mouthful. It's minor league baseball teams. And you're also going to have official partnerships with 25 of the minor league teams as well. This is something they've been looking to do for a while, they said, because they wanted to show they care about their fans in terms of health.
Well, I guess it's a nice move. I mean, look, we all go to ball games, regardless of what sport, and I eat crap. Oh, my God, the amount of stuff I eat that I shouldn't eat.
Well,
drink what I shouldn't drink.
You're still going to be able to eat and drink crap.
So, okay, this is a healthy alternative.
This is a healthy alternative.
Okay, good.
I find the parent company of Applegate interesting.
What's that?
Hormel.
Okay.
Which basically does all the lunch meats, which, a lot of them aren't healthy for you either. So, but this must be their health division.
I love following the people on Twitter and on social media who go around critiquing the different food at the ballparks, and some of this stuff is out there and crazy. But like I said, it's a healthy alternative, good for minor league baseball. You have a choice.
Always thinking about their fans.
You have a choice.
All right, that's it for the Turnpike trip.
And I want to remind everyone that today's trip down the Turnpike was brought to you by Drizzly, your online liquor store. Available in over 95 cities across North America, Drizzly offers a huge selection and competitive pricing with a side of personalized content. Now there's no need to leave the house. Get alcohol delivered in less than an hour by Drizzly. Head on over to drizzly.com and order today. And now get $15 off your first order of $30 or more when using the promo code DRINK15 at checkout. Shop beer, wine, and liquor with drizzly.com.
And look at that. We're pairing Drizzly with a cleaner wiener.
Yeah, eat it with your organic hot dog.
Yes. Contact the show. Call or text us at 609-512-6510. Hit us up on Facebook or Twitter at Turnpike Sports. Email us at info@turnpikesportsradio.com. Don't forget to order your calendar from the International Bikini Team. That's info@internationalbikini-team.org for ordering information. Don't forget to check out the show. It's distributed through iTunes, iHeartMedia, now on Waze, and Stitcher Radio, as well as YouTube. And just head on over to turnpikesportsradio.com and click on the podcast to listen to this and every other episode we've released.
And stick around. After these words from our sponsors, I'm going to have a great interview with Adam Small from US Bets. He attended the ICE Sports Betting Conference in New York City, and he talked to a lot of people in the sports betting world, and he's going to give us an update of what he saw and heard and the future of sports betting in the U.S. So stick around. We'll be right back with more Turnpike Sports. Hey, this is Dave Weishuttle from Turnpike Sports with this week's Bet Flash. The Hard Rock Casino in Atlantic City has announced it will be opening a sports book. The Boardwalk Casino announced it signed an agreement with Gaming Innovation Group to open its book in early 2019. It looks like the U.S. Congress has an increased interest in sports betting. According to ESPN, draft legislation came out of Senator Orrin Hatch's office, which would require states to get approval from the U.S. Attorney General in order to offer sports betting. The draft document also calls for a national sports wagering clearinghouse, which would collect data from all bets placed in the country. And finally, last week we gave you the story of Rhode Island opening up its first sports book. Well, this week the Ocean State has opened up its second sports book. The second sports book is in the Twin River Tiverton Casino and has joined the Twin Rivers Lincoln Casino as the only two sports books in New England. From the seaside to the desert, from the betting lines to the sites online, Turnpike Sports has got you covered. And be sure to follow us on Twitter at Turnpike Sports. You've been hearing me talk about MyPillow and the benefits of using it to get a good night's sleep, alleviate your sore neck and back, and the special deal you can get for MyPillow through the show. Well, not only can you pick up the special deal for 4 MyPillows when you use promo code CARDS, you get $100 off your purchase of the MyPillow mattress. Yeah, that's right, the MyPillow mattress. The MyPillow mattress comes with a 10-year warranty and a 120-day money-back guarantee. The MyPillow mattress is made up of 3 unique layers, providing you the comfort and support to fall asleep and stay asleep all night. It even has the luxurious Dream Soft cover, which is stain-resistant and stays cool all night. Just head on over to MyPillow.com, click on the MyPillow mattress link, and enter promo code CARDS at checkout to get $100 off your order. Or call 1-800-319-7913 to order by phone. That's MyPillow.com or call 1-800-319-7913 and use promo code CARDS. Better sleep starts with MyPillow. Welcome back, Turnpike Sports here. You know, last week was the ICE Sports Betting Conference USA that was held in New York City, and it attracted some of the biggest and most influential people in the sports betting business from around the world. And at the center of it all was Adam Small from usbets.com, who's going to give us a rundown of what was seen and what was heard at this amazing conference. Adam, thanks for joining us.
Hey, Dave. Great to be back.
Great to have you back. You know, you see, I think more business is done outside of the panels. So I actually want to talk to you about what happened in the hallways, what happened in the different events around the panels. And I know New Jersey last year was a big topic for everyone for sports betting, because I guess we were still waiting for the U.S. Supreme Court decision on whether New Jersey could offer sports betting. Was New Jersey still the big topic of discussion for the people who attended the ICE conference?
Less so for sure this year. This is my first time attending Sports Betting USA, but the conference has definitely changed from everything I've heard. Last year I heard it was very small, not that many people attended, and this year it sold out 7 or 8 weeks in advance of the event, and they were selling passes to live stream online, which is crazy.
Wow.
I have never heard of an industry conference in our industry selling out before. So things are changing for sure. There were definitely a lot of people in town, including people I would think of as kind of industry power players who weren't even in the conference, who were just in the city. I heard about some guys renting a boardroom a block away and having meetings the whole week. I heard about other people who were just same sort of thing, like just sticking around their hotel having meetings the whole time, whether it was because they couldn't get a pass at the conference or just because their purpose of business didn't involve being at the event itself, but just being there to meet with others who were in town for it. But yeah, there's a lot of business that goes on behind the scenes of these things, and that's nothing new. One thing that was really interesting to me being at the event was just how many different types of people and people from kind of different areas of the industry were there. You know, you're asking about New Jersey, and I saw David Rebuck. I saw some of the major legal names and stuff like that from New Jersey. But also, I met a guy from the Connecticut Lottery, for example. I met legislators from other states. I saw casino execs from various states. There's a lot of talk about what other states are going to be legislating and regulating sports betting, as well as other forms of gaming or iGaming. There's a lot of talk about expansion and consolidation and just a lot of industry movement in general. And yeah, there were a lot of power players at this event. I would definitely not characterize myself as being at the center of it all, but I was kind of a fly on the wall and definitely caught a lot of interesting things going on.
Well, I know you talk to a lot of people involved in the sports betting industry. Do you get the sense that it's progressing in the way they thought it would be, or were there some surprises with regard to the industry and its expansion?
I think I'm personally surprised at how fast it's all moving. I think those of us who've been following iGaming and been involved in online poker and online casino for years and years now are used to things moving at snail's pace. We're used to hearing, oh, Pennsylvania is going to pass this year. Oh, no, not this year, maybe next year. Okay, maybe the year after. And, just kind of baby steps, making small amounts of progress, gaining, new allies, but not getting to the finish line. And it's been pretty amazing just how fast states have been passing legislation, just getting right through it, making these things happen, and other things outside of legislation, too. Just hearing about partnerships between sports leagues and casino companies, or sports leagues and gambling interests, teams and gambling interests. The announcement between MGM and Major League Baseball, which happened while we were at ICE, is pretty amazing. I mean, the sports leagues and professional teams have just almost overnight gone from we were against any sports betting outside of Nevada to we fully embrace this and are looking for all the business opportunities for ourselves. So there definitely has been a seismic shift in the U.S. in terms of attitudes and in terms of just the speed at which legislative progress is happening. We now have sports betting in 8 states now that Rhode Island has gone live, and we're expecting, Arkansas to be on the way. They had a sports and gambling expansion passed by voter referendum. They still haven't built casinos, but they're coming. And it could be in 2019 that 5-6 more states pass. It definitely is within the realm of possibility. I mean, we all kind of said that optimistically, maybe online poker and casino would start speeding up, but it really looks legitimate that sports betting is going to continue to expand.
Did you get the sense that the participants in the or the people who attended the conference felt the expansion is going smoothly, or have you heard of people saying, take New Jersey, for example, they could have handled this aspect of the business in a better way? Has there been some concerns about, how it's being done right now, or it's all great in everyone's eyes?
I think it's a mix of those two things. There are definitely a lot of experienced industry veterans who are sort of shaking their heads at how fast things are moving, and I don't think anyone's concerned, or I haven't heard concerns about major problems happening or any, things that could cause the whole industry to shut down or anything like that. But there are definitely people saying that moving fast and trying to be first to market is not the best business strategy. We hear that. But I don't think, again, it's one of those things that we always hear. And I've been one of those people saying that sometimes. When DFS was getting big, I was at times very critical of particularly DraftKings and sort of their audacity, their just willingness to push the limits on everything, to offer NASCAR and golf when it was pretty clear that the UIGA exemption that they were sort of touting as the reason it was legal didn't apply to those games. But they just kind of forged ahead, and they were more interested in just building their market, their market position and their audience, and figured that the legal stuff would resolve itself. And some of it has, and some of it hasn't. But here they are, and so many other companies have gone out of business or gotten acquired. Pretty much everybody, right?
Yeah.
So, in sports betting, I think that DraftKings again is just sort of at this forefront of, well, we don't care if everybody thinks that people are ready or that the market is ready or not. We're just going to get in there and do it. And they've had amazing success so far. I'm sure they've had some problems too. And, the company's still not profitable as far as I know or anything like that. But there they are sitting there with more than 50% of the New Jersey market. And the people who are on the sidelines being naysayers are just on the sidelines being naysayers. That's not feeding their families. So I'm impressed with DraftKings' sort of audacity and willingness to just push things ahead. Whether it's going to help things or hurt things long term, maybe that remains to be seen. But I think what they've proven is that somebody's going to be out there pushing ahead, and that simply saying we should slow things down doesn't really do anything.
That was one of the most interesting things I read. John Brennan wrote a couple of great articles on the ICE conference on usbets.com. And he described when Darren Ravel, who was a moderator at one of the seminars and conferences or the panels, and he asked Jason Robbins, the CEO of DraftKings, if DraftKings was profitable. And Robbins said no. When do you think these businesses will start turning a profit with regard to sports betting?
Oh, I'm probably not the best person to ask, but I think that what they're interested in still after, 6 or 7, I think probably 7 years now that they've been operating is just growing their market share, just growing a customer base, growing data points that show that people are using what they're offering. And, it could be years. I think from DraftKings perspective, what they care about is, can they raise money at a higher valuation every time they need more? And as long as they're acquiring lots of customers and showing that their revenue is growing, I think the answer is probably yes. So definitely DFS took a downturn, but now with sports betting becoming one of their big things or their big thing, I'm sure they're going to see increased interest from investors again. And I'm not sure it even matters to them right now.
I know New Jersey was the big testing ground for online sports betting. Are you getting the sense from the people involved in the mobile sports betting arena that they're happy how their apps are performing, or have you heard about any people trying to modify their apps or the mobile? What is going on with that aspect of the industry? Does anything need to be changed as they expand to other states?
I think it's a mix. Mobile sports betting, at least in terms of betting on actual iPhone and Android apps, is fairly new, at least in the U.S., due to the fact that offshore sites are not going to have apps approved in the App Store, which is, less of a problem, although it's been tricky for the New Jersey sites, but they've gotten there. But yeah, a lot of this is kind of still in its first phases. There are definitely some that are performing better than others, and there are certain providers that are having some struggles. I know BetStars in particular was really struggling early on, just couldn't get things really going, but it seems like they're starting to pick up now. And DraftKings seems to have done the best there. FanDuel's done very well. You've got 888 and you've got William Hill and a couple others. I think it's definitely going to be a race to incorporate the best possible features, and there will be a lot of changes and a lot of new offerings. But so far, it just feels like everybody's trying to acquire customers and get them betting, and particularly get them betting online, because it's already very clear in New Jersey that online, mobile, whatever you want to call it, is the king. It's everything. Retail sports betting is fine. Maybe it'll bring people in the doors at some of these casinos and racetracks. But, I think, was it Jeff Gurrell from Meadowlands has already kind of come out and said, look, sports betting is not saving the Meadowlands. It's not going to save us. It's good, but it's not going to fix all the issues with revenue that they're having or with industry decline. Mobile is where it really matters, because that's the big growth area that's out there. So I'm sure people will be investing a lot in those products.
It's interesting you brought that up, Jeff Gurrell from the Meadowlands. One of the pushes from the U.S. Supreme Court case was, sports betting is going to help the horse racing industry in New Jersey. Is it? Did he say it's still too early to tell, or we're not seeing the money get to the horse racing area?
My understanding is that he just has acknowledged that having a sports book at the Meadowlands is not solving the financial pressure that they were under, the difficulties with remaining profitable at the track. I'm sure that their relationship with FanDuel and whatever that means in terms of whatever revenue that they're going to get from FanDuel's mobile and online presence, will hopefully, I would think that would be more of a boon for them than the retail book. But yeah, mostly it sounds like he's acknowledging like sports betting is not the panacea for the Meadowlands.
We've gotten lots of questions from listeners about, what's the difference between the mobile sites and why is DraftKings have so much of the market share? Is it basically because DraftKings was first and people just signed up with DraftKings and felt, I don't need to check out these other mobile sites? Or is there something that DraftKings mobile site is doing differently than the other mobile sites in New Jersey?
It's a good question. It's not something that I've spent a ton of time looking at. I definitely think that their first mover advantage was very important in this case, because they just got into the mobile market way ahead of anybody else. I think FanDuel was a full month after DraftKings got in, and Sugar House was close to that. I think that's a huge part of it. But they are good at product in general. DraftKings has a strong history of putting a lot of effort and investment into their mobile products in particular, and I'm sure that they're doing a lot of things right. I actually did get on the app the other day and make a couple bets, and I think definitely they've put a lot of thought into just making it accessible, making it simple for new users that come in. That's just one of the main goals. Definitely, always is just to to make it not too scary and intimidating for people who aren't used to betting online on a mobile app. And, of course, making it easy to process payments. And then the other big thing I think that they're making a big effort to do, and I'm sure the others are doing as well, is just making sure people are aware of all the options on there, making sure that people are aware that they can bet in game, not just on like the full game results, but on in-game odds and on prop bets and things like that. So it's just trying to get each user to do as much as possible on the site. So I think they're doing a lot of things right with all that. I'm not sure exactly which specific things they're doing better than others, but we do have full comprehensive reviews up on njonlinegambling.com that have been written by Robert Delafave, mostly after spending probably 30 to 40 hours per review just researching all of the features of the sites. And I definitely recommend people check those out.
By the way, I follow you on Twitter, and I saw that you actually placed your first bet in New Jersey, and I want to get your personal feeling of what that experience was, and also explain what the hell happened to New Orleans. Falling to the.
I was.
Did you actually jinx New Orleans?
I did. Oh yeah, I bet. So DraftKings had and continues to have a free $200 bet for new signups.
Okay.
And if you either create a new account or if you already have a DFS account but haven't bet on sports yet, then whatever first bet you make, like if you make a $200 bet, regardless of whether you win or lose, you get credited with a free bet for the same amount to your account, up to $200. And so I decided I'm going to take advantage of this, get my free bet. I deposited $200 and bet on New Orleans at -7 to beat Dallas last Thursday night, which to me looked like a real slam dunk.
Yeah.
New Orleans has been scoring tons of points on everyone. Dallas is not very good most weeks. And, I mean, New Orleans has been one of really the most consistent teams this year. So I found it pretty shocking that, one, they lost that game, and two, that the score was what it was. Just was very unexpected. But I think
I saw that. I saw that on Twitter, and I made a note. I'm going to ask him about that next time I talk to him.
Well, one of the lessons I definitely learned from it, and it's probably something that has been discussed quite a bit. I've certainly noticed it, and I just wasn't thinking about it that night. Is the Thursday night games are very unpredictable in general. They're not usually very good games most of the time, and teams don't always play up to their potential on Thursday nights, maybe because of the short week or just because they're off schedule or whatever. But yeah, so bottom line is I lost $200. I would have
immediately tweeted out that was Delafave's idea, and that's why I did it.
It was definitely, it was Robert's fault, not
Robert's
mine.
fault.
But I lost my $200, but I did get the $200 free bet, which I used in the publicest of public-y ways and bet on the Patriots on Sunday, and they came through for me. So I ended up turning my $200 into $182,
nice.
Which I guess is a win. So
you'll take
that's my sports betting experience to date.
Well, while the sports books coming online and where all the physical sports books being built around the country, have you talked to anyone that maybe down the road are expressing concern that maybe this is going to be too many sports books and too many sports betting apps, and that's going to affect the profitability of them? Or right now everyone's okay with just opening up as many sports books and going online with as many sports apps as possible?
Yeah, I mean, I think that the thing you described is a business issue for each individual operator, like how much competition there is and, how they find a way to get ahead of the rest. Because, I mean, I don't believe that there's going to be 20 different sportsbook apps in New Jersey long term, for example, or 25 or whatever. Some will inevitably fail to become profitable or to capture enough market share or whatever. I mean, that has happened at least some with online casinos. It's happened with online poker. Some people will go out of business. I mean, the the first ever U.S. online poker site that was legal post Black Friday was Ultimate Poker, and where are they today? The entire company doesn't exist anymore. So I think that it's a business issue. It's not a market issue. I don't believe that too many competitors is bad for the market. I think it's actually very good for the market, because what it means is that there's going to be more and more investment in acquisition and in product as people try to differentiate. And I mean, we've seen in New Jersey with online casinos, I think it's been incredibly interesting to watch that market, watch how Golden Nugget, which was at best and is really at best a minor player in the brick and mortar casino scene in Atlantic City, but they've become this dominant player in online casino and iGaming, and they've done it through a mix of very solid product development and acquisition strategies, and also some incredibly savvy partnerships where they form these partnerships with Betfair and with Sugar House that have turned over big dividends for them. I think Golden Nugget, Betfair, and Sugar House are all three in the top 5 or 6 online casinos in all of New Jersey, despite there being around 20 total. So they've done incredibly well, and they've done it, against a lot of tough competition from big international companies. And I think, we'll see the same thing with sports betting and with iGaming in other states, where the more competition there is, the more pressure there is on companies to form good partnerships and to innovate and to stay ahead, and everybody wins.
You mentioned MGM before, and I want to hit on that deal that they made with MiLB, NHL, and NBA. For people who are not familiar with these deals, what do they basically entail for both MGM and the sports leagues? Is it basically data and logo exchange? I
think, in each case, it's something different. But, definitely it's a lot of it is about who's providing official league data or who's receiving official league data. And in some cases involves promotional aspects and things like that. But what's the really key takeaway from all of this, regardless of the exact nature of these deals, is that rather than states legislating how these spoils get divided up, the way I think the leagues have come in and been pushing for, asking for integrity fees and all this, basically asking for, as some put it, a private tax the other day, where the state forces a tax to be paid, which goes directly into the hands of another private entity. I think that, MGM and Major League Baseball is an example, and there have been others as well, including, the New York Jets have partnered with a couple of operators. In all these cases, we have the market doing its thing, businesses getting together and coming to agreements about how they can benefit each other by working together, how they can each profit from a partnership, rather than just having the state force someone to pay money to someone else. So I think all these things are positive steps. I'm really hoping that a year from now, we can look back and just be like, man, that integrity thing was so silly. Things are working so much better now. But I know for now, at least the leagues are still out there sort of pushing this idea that they should be getting some sort of royalty or integrity fee or, whatever they're calling it today. So, we'll see how that ends. But my hope is that these data deals and these partnerships supersede all of these legislative pushes, and that the leagues stop standing in the way for their own selfish purposes of letting these markets improve on their own.
I know the leagues want to start playing games in London and Mexico and Canada. Do you think they're going to start making deals or start looking at deals from, say, European operators, or do you think they're going to really stay within the U.S. and look at the sports betting operators there to make deals with?
It's an interesting question. It's not something I had really thought of till right now, but yeah, I mean, if they're playing over in, especially when they're playing in London, for example, I mean, it's a great opportunity for them to get out there and do something with a Betfair or, William Hill or, one of these other big brands that exists overseas too, potentially even, in conjunction with deals that they're doing in the States with the same companies. I definitely. I mean, I think they'll be looking at all those possibilities. It seems like some of the leagues are embracing it faster or slower than others, and same with the teams. But everybody's going to come around eventually and realize that gambling is here and it's happening, and we just need to advance our own business interests as best we can.
You know, it's interesting to see the businesses that develop around sports betting. I know media companies are focusing on sports betting, and I don't know about you, but I'm getting inundated with emails about companies who will provide expert analysis to me to help me place my bets. Will we see an increase in businesses that feed off of the sports betting industry?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I mean, I think it's already happening. We're already seeing, I mean, certainly, when we talk about the media, I mean, that's the most obvious one.
Yeah.
Everyone sort of used to joke that in DFS, the biggest winners were media companies. And I think it's pretty much true. I mean, Disney, ESPN, whatever. I mean, they made a lot of money off of DFS, even while the companies were not profitable, and many of them ultimately went out of business or sold. But I mean, I think that media in particular is an industry that is going to change and grow in new and good ways, different ways than it has in the past. We're already seeing just these shows popping up on several channels. ESPN is the one that I think of most, and they had a whole team of their people at Ice Sports Betting USA. Ben Fox was there, the editor of ESPN Chalk, and David Purdom and Rovell, who, of course, now is no longer at ESPN, but was there on their behalf, and a couple of other people. So, you know, I think companies like ESPN and like Fox Sports and like, you know, Sports Illustrated and all kinds of these different media entities that historically have mostly just followed the games and the players are also going to be following the gambling aspect.
You know, one of the amazing things about the ICE conference was that from people from all around the world gathered to talk about betting. From what you heard at the conference, what can we expect from the business of sports betting? I mean, is online sports betting going to be the focus of the industry? Are we going to expect more deals between professional sports organizations and betting operators? What do you see in the coming year for sports betting?
I see a lot more entrants in mobile because, I mean, in New Jersey, we still don't even have some of the biggest casinos in play, Tropicana, Golden Nugget. I definitely see a lot more push into the market from operators. And, yeah, I think that as it starts to play out a little bit and we start to see who some of the leaders are, that, you know, we're going to see a lot more people joining forces, figuring out how, okay, if I can't win on my own, who do I need to win? So a lot more partnerships and potentially more market consolidation as well. I also think that we'll be hearing about things like exclusive media partnerships and exclusive team partnerships, and everybody's going to be just looking for what their edge can be. What can I do that my competition can't instantly replicate? So, there's going to be a lot of that as well. And then on the affiliate side, you know, where I reside, I think that we're just going to see more and more entrants. I thought it was very interesting that Income Access went out and did, that's a subsidiary of PaySafe that is involved in marketing online casinos and sports betting quite a bit. Income Access did a survey, and it was more than 20% of affiliates worldwide. That's for listeners who aren't familiar with affiliates, that's companies that get paid to market for these online sports books and casinos, and that's how our company also makes its revenue. That over 20% of affiliates worldwide are planning to make a play at the U.S. Sports betting market. I mean, that's a huge number of affiliates worldwide that are planning on getting involved in this. And I think that we'll be seeing a lot more different sites pop up looking to promote these markets. And obviously that presents new challenges for people like us, but also it'll be probably a big influx of interesting content for end users.
Adam, we're running out of time, but I want to remind everyone that they can keep up to date in this fast-moving and evolving sports betting and casino business by reading the great articles in usbets.com. And by the way, it's a great follow on Twitter at US_bets. It's certainly the resource I use to keep up to date about what's going on in the gambling world. Adam Small from usbets.com. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, thank you, Dave. It's great to be back.
Stick around. We'll be right back with more Turnpike Sports.
Free stuff is awesome, but free stuff that will spice up your bedroom is even better. Just go to adamandeve.com and select almost any one item for 50% off, and then we'll load on the free stuff. Just enter this very exclusive code, BABE16 at checkout, and you'll get 10 tantalizing free gifts, including a sexy item for him, a special toy for her, and a third item you'll both enjoy. And for your viewing pleasure, 6 free spicy movies on DVD, plus free shipping! Always sent in discreet packaging. So go to adamandeve.com now. Get 50% off plus 10 free gifts when you enter the exclusive offer code BABE16. Again, that's BABE16. Because without it, no free stuff. That's BABE16 at adamandeve.com.
We'll get right back to the show, but I want to take a minute to talk to you about Bean Genius. How would you like your coffee delivered right to your door every month, maybe 2 times a month? Well, now that can happen with Bean Genius. Bean Genius sells freshly roasted coffee from some of the best independent coffee roasters in the country at beangenius.com. And Bean Genius actually learns their customers' individual taste preferences, then suggests future coffee blends for them. Well, how do they do that? Well, this is the cool thing about Bean Genius. Over at beangenius.com, they use an algorithm which learns the coffee flavors you like and then pairs up what you like with the coffee that they have in stock. And it's all based upon you. Every time you order, the system learns. The system learns your preferences as you go along and order more and more coffee. And now, all our listeners at Turnpike Sports can get a special offer. You head on over to beangenius.com/subscription, and you'll be able to get 10% off your purchase when you use our promo code PIKE, P-I-K-E, at checkout. That's 10% off at beangenius.com/subscription with promo code PIKE, P-I-K-E. beangenius.com, the smart specialty coffee subscription service.
I'll bet you $20 I can get you gambling before the end of the day.
No way.
I'll give you 3-to-1 odds.
No.
5-to-1.
No.
10-to-1.
You're on.
Welcome back to Turnpike Sports. That was a great interview by Adam Small. He never disappoints from usbets.com. It's a great site. And
it was a great conference.
Oh, it was a great conference. And, he kept us up to date. And he always talks about great stuff with regard to betting, casinos, sports betting. Yeah, I mean, it's a great resource. usbets.com is always great to read and keep up to date with. And here's an update with our sports betting situation in the production offices. I sucked last week.
I went 0-3.
Wow. I did 1 and 2.
You did better than me. So
I missed 1 by half a point. Oh, half a point.
I'll tell you, it's once in a while.
The pitfalls of gambling.
I actually picked all the upsets. I went the other way. Every upset that happened last week, I was part of it.
Okay, well, you're the wrong part of it. And so hopefully we'll do better this week. And I just want to remind everyone this week's Pro Pick segment is sponsored by the Michigan Online Lottery. Choose from over 50 different online lottery games today, including their new holiday promotion, Sweet Surprises, running now through December 17th. All online at Michigan Lottery. And now get 10 free games of Queen of Diamonds when you sign up using our promo code RADIO10 at MichiganLottery.com. That's promo code RADIO10 at MichiganLottery.com. Must be at least 18 years or older, a Michigan resident, and in Michigan to play online.
And as always, all our picks, we do 3 picks each week. Sometimes we'll have the same ones, but we'll do 3 picks each week, and each pick is going to be put up on the Turnpike Sports blog. Go to turnpikesportsradio.com and click on the blog button. These picks will appear probably about an hour after the show is released, so enjoy these, especially I had a good time picking them last week. I did not do good in my picks. Like I said, I went 0-3, so feel free to keep making fun of me.
Well, do you want to start off, or do you want me to jump in on?
Look, we have one game together
Okay.
that we chose. I'll read it off to you, and you can do your pick first. Carolina Panthers at Cleveland Browns. Panthers are a 1-point favorite with an over-under of 47. Go right ahead.
I got to tell you, Carolina has hit a rough patch lately, and they're not playing their best football, and the bookmakers are showing that with being only a 1-point favorite, so that shows you how much they've been struggling. But I think they have enough to win late in the fourth quarter to pull this one out. It's only a 1-point favorite, so basically it's a pick 'em, and I'm going to pick the Carolina Panthers.
Well, I have to agree with you that Carolina is not playing well.
Yeah.
And they really play terribly on the road. Mm-hmm. And this is what they're doing. They're going to Cleveland, and Cleveland plays some of their best football at home.
Yep.
And even though they didn't look good against the Texans, they still played some really decent football all the way through the stretch at home this year. And I think you're going to see the Cleveland Browns being auditioned for the newly fired Mike McCarthy. So you might see this team play extremely well here at home, and that's why I'm going with the Browns.
Our next game is the Denver Broncos at the San Francisco 49ers. No, actually, not our thing. This is my game. So Denver is a 6-point favorite with an over-under of 44.5. I think Denver Broncos defense is going to be the story of this game. And get this. The Denver defense has only allowed 16.3 points per game against Los Angeles Rams and the Pittsburgh Steelers, and the 49ers don't have the talent of these two high-octane offenses, so I'm looking for the Denver Broncos defense to come up big, and I'm taking the Denver Broncos.
It's always nice seeing Denver play well. I mean, their offense has been up and down, but their defense is always good. So, it'll be a fun game to watch at least. My next game is the Jacksonville Jaguars.
So do you agree with me or no? Or you're not even...
I'm not even touching that game.
Not even touching it, huh?
No. I'm stretching and doing 3 picks for myself, so
okay.
I'm not even going to touch that one. Jacksonville Jaguars at Tennessee Titans. Titans are a 4.5-point favorite with an over-under of 37.5. Now, I watched that Titans-Jets debacle, being a Jets fan, and I was impressed with that Titans offense.
Jets gave it away. Jets gave the season away. I wasn't impressed by anything of that game, either team.
The fourth quarter for the Titans was actually spectacular if you want to look at it from their side of the ball. And quite honestly, any time you're down 16-0 and come back in the NFL, that's actually impressive, no matter who you're playing, regardless of whether it was the Jets or the Bills or anybody else that's really a cellar dweller. But I think the Jaguars, with that Kessler-led offense, doesn't scare anybody. I really think that even though the Jaguars have a big defense and hasn't been playing as well this year, but still a good defense, I think Tennessee's got enough offensive firepower to overcome that elite defense that Jaguars have, and I'm going with the Titans.
I got to tell you, I looked at the line of that game, and I am surprised how low the over-under is, 37.5, which is, by the way, the lowest over-under for Week 14. I'd be almost tempted to take the over because it is just so low.
You just don't know what's going to happen, especially with that Jaguars offense. You don't know what's going to show up there. And I think you're going to see something like maybe field goal time most of the time through this game.
Yeah, it'll be a close game, I think.
Yeah, I honestly would go with the under with this.
Interesting.
But I went with the Titans with the points.
Well, and speaking of what I think is going to be a close game is the Philadelphia Eagles at the Dallas Cowboys. The Cowboys are a 4-point favorite with an over-under of 43, which is another low over-under. And let's be honest, this game is for the NFC East probably. And given the weakness of that division, the NFC East, if you need to win the NFC East if you want to get into the playoffs. So this is going to be, probably the end of the Philadelphia Eagles season if they lose. And I think this one's going to be a defensive struggle. I mean, no one has been sacked more than Dak Prescott this year. So I think, you're going to have the defenses step up. And I think it's going to change leads several times, and it's going to be really close. So, someone's going to win by a field goal, and when you think are that close and they mean so much, and it's a point spread of 4, I'm going with the underdog, and the underdog is the Philadelphia Eagles, and that's who I'm taking.
What's more surprising to you, because you follow the NFC more so than the rest of the league, is the Eagles playing poorly this season or inconsistently this season more surprising than Dallas playing better lately?
Well, sure. I think their offensive, the addition of Amari Cooper has really sparked something in Dallas. And let me tell you something. They always had a good defense, but the Eagles have, I hate to blame injuries, but they have had a decimated secondary. Washington, what's happened to their quarterbacks. I mean, God, if you might as well just invest in a cast if you are going to play quarterback for the Washington Redskins. And I don't know what's going on with the Giants. I mean, they have all the talent in the world, and they just can't put it together. So, I'm very surprised with the NFC East. But look, in the past 14 or 15 years, anyone who's won the NFC East has not won it the year after. So this is following the trend. But injuries are a big part of it, I think.
Well, your statements have led into my last game for the week.
Okay.
The New York Giants at Washington Redskins.
Oh, okay. All right.
Redskins are a 1.5 favor with an over-under of 41. Washington's down to Mark Sanchez as their starting quarterback. As a matter of fact, I believe they actually were looking at a couple different quarterbacks to sign this past week here after Colt McCoy went down with a broken leg.
Sure.
Sanchez played okay when he came in, and he's always played okay. He doesn't have a really strong running game, but Adrian Peterson did have that 90-yard run against the Eagles.
Which, by the way, was his longest run of any part of his career in college and pro. That was the longest run ever.
But I don't think they're going to do it against the Giants. The Giants have been playing better every single week. Even, forget that loss to the Eagles because they had some kind of brain fart in the second half there. But I really think they've been playing well. They continue to play well. And this is, again, they're facing another backup quarterback in Mark Sanchez. I mean, this is the backup quarterback. He was signed 2 weeks ago when Alex Smith went down. And now we have Colt McCoy gone. He's starting. And they just came off a good win against Chicago, the Giants, against Chicago. And that was a backup quarterback, Chase Daniels, and they shut him down. So I think they're going to do the same thing here. I'm going with the Giants.
I think all the smart money is going with the Giants. I mean, no one puts money on Mark Sanchez and expects good things to happen.
Unless the prop bet is he's going to have another butt fumble.
Yeah.
And he did have a good interaction with the reporters regarding the butt fumble a couple days ago.
Look, I think he's going to be a really great addition to any media organization when he leaves football. But, it is what it is. He did it. He has to acknowledge it.
He does. He acknowledges it. He embraces it. He embraces it.
Embrace may be too hard a word, but he acknowledges it, and he understands why people are asking it.
You should have seen his press conference with the Washington press. He just had it up there. He had fun with it.
Oh, no.
He was joking around about it. So he has a good head on his shoulders with that stuff. So I don't think he's going to do well against the Giants, but like I said, I'm doing the Giants.
Well, he was only signed November 19th, so you can't expect too much of him.
He was signed right after Alex Smith went down.
Sure.
So he's just learning the offense.
I hope he doesn't get hurt.
Well,
boy, that's a cursed position right there.
I don't know how they're going to handle whatever they're doing for the backup plan here, but they've even said they've discussed Kaepernick,
in which they should.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to sign him. But all right, just to recap, I went with the Browns, the Giants, and the Titans for this weekend's games.
I went with the Panthers, the Broncos, and the Eagles.
All right, and as I said, these picks will be up on the Turnpike Sports blog, and you could check them out. They'll be up in about probably an hour after the show is released. So go to turnpikesportsradio.com, click on the blog button, and you will see the picks there, and feel free to rag on us because obviously, judging by last week, we suck.
And I just want to remind everyone that this week's Pro Pick segment is sponsored by the Michigan Online Lottery. Choose from over 50 online lottery games today, including their new holiday promotion, Sweet Surprises, running now through December 17th. all online at the Michigan Lottery. And now get 10 free games of Queen of Diamonds when you sign up using our promo code Radio10 at MichiganLottery.com. That's promo code Radio10 at MichiganLottery.com. Must be at least 18 years or older, a Michigan resident, and in Michigan to play online.
All right, that'll do it for this week's Turnpike Sports. Everybody enjoyed the games. Enjoy your betting wherever you're at. You got multiple places to choose from. If you don't even want to leave your couch, you can use your phone.
Absolutely. And I want to thank Adam Small from usbets.com to giving us an update on the ICE Sports Conference in New York City. And, hey, have a great weekend of sports. See you next time on the Turnpike.